This week on the Spotlight, we talked to Daniel Webb, a White Sox reliever who could be in there near the end of games. You never know the way it's going. We talked to Robin. He's handled a lot of injuries this year and done it with a pretty good spirit. Then we flash back. Remember this man? Phil Jackson. He's the big boss of the Knicks. We talked to him when he was a medium boss of the Bulls. And Andre Dawson, Super Hall of Famer, and our Cubs flashback this week. Check out my website, benkowski.com, for my weekly article and up-to-the-minute trivia sites. From wherever Chicago's sports teams are making news, this is the 25th year of the Lansing Floral Sports Spotlight. Flowers for every imaginable occasion at Lansing Floral Shop. Call them at 708-474-1212. They deliver. You've got to get to Calabria Imports. That's where I go for Italian food, deli food. Mention this TV ad and get 10% off. Catering and sandwiches. It's at 1905 West 103rd Street. They have great stuff, and you should get it at Calabria Imports. Wax on, wax off. Great salon and spa. Haircuts for men, women, head to toe, nails. 312-226-1473. With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. The T-Wax Company does real estate investments. They want you to buy Chicagoland properties, providing profit opportunities since 1985. Call my friend Mr. Thomas at 773-456-3057. Make some money. Call 773-456-3057. Mr. C's Midway Bar. Open till 2 a.m. every day. Best Bloody Marys. For 65 years, they've had great neighborhood prices. Easy to reach at 4654 West 63rd Street, right over by Cicero Avenue. I've been there. You'll like it. Mr. C's Midway Bar. Lisa Davis Insurance and Tax Services at 107th and Western specializes in rollovers, tax recovery, tax resolution. They have insurance, auto, home, life, and business. You can call them at 773-873-8977. Lisa Davis for all your financial services. Amelia's Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner daily at 46th and Halsted. Lamo de Cerdo, Portrero and Mar, Ceviche al Limon, Salmon al Carbone. New cocktail menu, margaritas, martinis, and sangria. Great stuff at Amelia's Bar and Grill, 46th and Halsted. You'll be glad you went. We're back on the Spotlight. We're in the heart of May. The weather is broken, and the White Sox strong offensive start should continue, in my opinion. The question is, will the pitching right itself? That would be the thing that would set the team on a forward motion to get them out of that 500 area and into a little more intense contention with the Detroit Tigers, the clear-cut class of their division. One of the guys that could be a factor in this whole thing as it continues is relief pitcher Daniel Webb. We had a chance to catch up with him, a guy I think who could ultimately be the closer on this team, at least for a while. And I asked him about that and many other things, and here's the youngster's responses. Yeah, that's true. Talk a little bit about your own situation. Tell us a little bit about how you got to this point, where you came from, and about making this roster.
Well, from Paducah, Kentucky, grew up playing ball there, and ended up getting drafted by the Blue Jays out of one-year junior college, and was traded over here on New Year's Day of 2012. And I got called up last year in September, and that's something I won't forget. And had opportunity to make the team out of spring this year, and I pitched well, and I made the opening day roster, and something every kid always dreams about. Nothing I'm going to take for granted, and just happy to be here.
As far as a great initial moment, is it more something that happened in your call-up or something that happened in April?
Talking about what now?
Well, a great moment for you, like a I've arrived moment.
My first win, it's something in my debut I'll never forget, being at Yankee Stadium in September last year. And then my first professional win this season is kind of unique, just through one pitch. Came in, got through one pitch, got the out, and then we scored in the bottom of the inning, and I got the win. So,
in the past, in some recent years, the tendency has been to find a guy who maybe is so kind of new to the major league scene that he doesn't even know to be nervous in the ninth inning, and I to almost to an extent, Addison Reed, when he was the closer here, kind of matched that persona. There's been some speculation that you might have a future in that role. What would you think if you ended up doing some closing?
That'd be great. I think that's every bullpen pitcher's dream or goal, is maybe be a closer one day, and it was certainly one of mine. And I've heard that the ninth inning's a totally different inning than another inning, and where I'm at now, I'll go out there whatever inning they need me to, and if they want me to try to take on the ninth someday, I'll do it, and I'll compete the same way I would if it was the fifth or sixth inning going in there.
I mean, is it something where you could honestly say, it doesn't matter to me what inning you would approach it, like almost like a start?
Right. It is, and like I said, you always hear that the ninth inning's a different animal and all that, and I believe it. I could see where it'd be a little different, but it's still the same game. It's just you got to get the last three outs, so I'm sure that's a little bit extra pressure, but I feel like that's something I could tackle someday.
See, I thought a pressure-packed situation would be, it's the seventh inning and the bases are loaded, and there's a big, strong left-handed hitter coming up, and then you're called in to put out the fire. I mean, isn't that equally or more pressure-packed?
I think so, and I think it's just the fact of closing. It's the last three outs of the game, and they call it save opportunity. So like you're saving the game, I guess, and. I think it's just being the last three outs makes it a little bit more of a pressure, but I agree with you that, there's pressure in every inning. If you come in with bases loaded, it doesn't matter if it's the first or the ninth inning, you still want to get the guy out and not let the guy score.
Tell our viewers a little bit about what you feel your strengths are and maybe some variety of your pitches.
Probably my best strength would be my fastball, and then, I'm coming along with my changeup and slider right now, my secondary pitches. I think, but right now I just got to command the zone a little bit better, but I rely heavy on my fastball right now.
I mean, I only pitched in street lot games, but my problem with the changeup was always the release. I mean, I threw it where I wanted to throw it, but they knew it was coming. What's your greater difficulty, locating it or the motion?
Locating for me, being able to throw it for called strikes. Big league hitter's not going to chase everything, so you got to make it appear like it's going to be in the strike zone for a while, and then maybe have it drop off the table or whatever.
Your best breaking ball, and will you throw it with a full count?
Yes, I have a few times this season already, and throw a slider, and I'll throw it any time in the count. Struggled with it here lately, but I think it's going to come back around, and I'll throw it any time.
There's so much talk about simplifying the pitching game and, throw strike one, and once you're ahead, there's an automatic rhythm to it. How much of that is true?
I believe all of it's true. If you get ahead, it changes. It usually has a big change in the outcome of the at-bat. You get first pitch strike one, the pitcher's in the driver's seat, and if you fall behind 1-0, then the hitter can kind of set on one more pitch. Just set on one pitch and be ready for it.
Who are the best helpers for you in the bullpen? Who keeps your head straight and who offers little tips about hitters and gives you those little nuances that help you out?
Everybody does, from Chief to Thiggy and even the pitchers down in the bullpen. Scott's been around a while, Lindy's been around, and they all have different stories about how they attack different hitters and so on. And I try to pick their brains as much as I can.
To wrap up, what's the most successful team you've ever been on, and do you see some of those winning qualities in this group here?
I'd say probably the most successful team I was on would have been last year, playing in Double-A with Birmingham Barons, and they went on to win the league. But this team, we got a lot of energy. It's a great group of guys. You got some older veteran guys, you got some younger guys. just the difference between being here last year in September and being here for the beginning of this season. Just the energy level is so much better, and everybody's going out there having fun.
Well, we wish you continued success, and hope you get in some of those late inning situations, and you're efficient with it.
Yeah, so do I. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Nuevo Leon, for the best Mexican cuisine since 1962. Serving every day from 7 a.m. to midnight. Conveniently located 1515 West 18th Street, just a block east of Ashland in Chicago. Of course, they have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and a wide range of menu items. Everything from steak, seafood, to breakfast, to chicken, pork, dine-in, carry-out, tacos, enchiladas, everything you can imagine, and great quality at Nuevo Leon, 1515 West 18th. You've got to get to Lansing Floral Shop. Open at 8 a.m. daily. Besides a great array of live flowers, they have custom silks, Bridgewater candles. They want you to plan your parties early at a wide delivery area. They're located at 3420 Ridge Road in Lansing, or you can call 708-474-1212. Weddings, funerals, birthdays, anniversaries, and guys, try the No Reason flower. Believe me, it works. Lansing Floral Shop. Give them a call, 708-474-1212. O'Rourke's office. Benkowski Trivia coming there Friday, May 23rd at 6 p.m. Get to 111th and Western, a fun place. O'Rourke's office. Have a couple of cocktails, play my trivia game. 111th and Western, Friday, May 23rd, 6 p.m. Cornelio's Mobile Auto Glass. They come to you. You call them at 773-908-6081. Lowest prices, new and used. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. They'll do your windshield, back window, or sides. They did a great job for me. They'll do a great job for you, and you'll be amazed at how quickly they come in and finish it up. Cornelio's Mobile Auto Glass. We're back in the spotlight, and it's White Sox and Robin Ventura time. Robin seems very at ease in recent weeks, talking about a team that really has probably exceeded his expectation in terms of weathering the storm of injuries and having people who maybe didn't even figure to play that much playing key roles and producing, particularly on offense. And so finding the pitching combination that works is his next big challenge. But he talks about individual players and what he wants to see happen in May that'll get his team on the kind of roll to get him off the 500 schneid and in legitimate contention with those blank Tigers.
Well, that's just part of it. I mean, the way our bullpen has been having to come in games, we haven't, if you don't get your starters to, get towards the seventh inning, it's going to be tough. And, when it doesn't happen, there's always somebody that becomes tough, and the guy's got to wear it.
But more directly, there's this saying, you have to sometimes give up a particular game so that you don't blow it for the next week or 10 days.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long season, and, to be able to get your bullpen right and get everybody enough rest, that's just part of it. And you don't always like to see it happen, but there are days when it happens. There are days when you end up throwing your utility infielder. That's just part of.
Is it hard for you as a competitor as well as a manager to do that?
No, because you understand, what it means. I mean, you always want to win, and you always want to put your best guy out there, but you also understand that you need to live to fight another day, and that you're not going to get it that day. So if it happens, great, but. On the other hand, you're not going to put everybody else in jeopardy out there and try and pitch them, 7 days in a row.
I know Eaton's out right now, but what did he bring to you guys there in the month?
He's been great. I mean, there's a energy level that he has, and it's also his talent. I think he's come in here and at the top of our lineup really set a tone as far as the type of at-bats that he's had. Playing well, all that kind of stuff goes into it. But there's just an edge to him that we needed, and that's something that he's brought, and it's been a breath of fresh air to be able to have that. I mean, it's different when he's out, but you start seeing his at bats fouling off a lot of pitches. He sees a lot of pitches. He's a threat on the bases, and that's it's been fun to watch.
Is there anything that maybe surprised you about him that you didn't quite realize?
He's shorter than I thought.
Well,
I thought he was a little taller than that, actually.
Besides health, what would you like to see happen in May that would be an evolution and a positive for your club?
Well, it has to be health. You want to win games, and for us to do that, you want to be able to have everybody back, and to do that's part of it. And I think, as well as we did offensively early, it's because we had everybody that we had expected at the end of spring training. So, you just want to continue to see these guys play hard and continue doing what they've been doing.
Warm weather is usually associated with better hitting situations. It's got to reassure you that things can continue or perhaps get better offensively.
I think this park's much different when it's warm. So, I think even for Jose, that's part of what's been impressive about him is that he's done most of this in really cold weather, playing here for most of it. But to be able to do what he's done in cold weather, and when it warms up, you just feel better as a hitter. So that's something to look forward to.
As clutch as Jose has been with men on base, it may have diminished a little bit your willingness to run because of his results. Will you run more in other situations or lower in the order or things like that?
I don't think it dictates just with him. That's mostly who's on base and when you want to run and who's trying to run and who's on the mound and who their catcher is. That has a lot to do with it. But, with him, you don't want to give up outs when he's at the plate either. So, you want him to be able to swing the bat without a lot of commotion going on so he can just focus on the ball.
In terms of the injuries, obviously they're a part of the game, but the situation you've had to undertake this year, is that even in the realm of a contingency you planned for?
I don't know if you sit there and plan for it. You don't plan on guys getting hurt. You definitely don't plan on a guy like, Garcia going down and having to have shoulder surgery. As a pitchers, you would, you have an idea going into a season that you're going to have more than 12 pitchers for a season. Player-wise, you don't necessarily think that way. You would imagine most everybody would get through a season, but every once in a while there are situations where it just happens, and it just seems like every other day something happens to somebody. But guys have been able to step up and fill in and do enough to win games, and that's part of playing. Is it's this next guy up and try and make something happen.
With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. Huck Finn is open. Go play at Red Shoes Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski in Alsip, featuring 16 Brunswick Gold Crown pool tables, drop fluorescent lighting fixtures, and their fabulous grade of cloth. Call 708-388-3700. And now video gaming is available at Red Shoes from open till close. And don't forget the Illinois Lottery, too. That's Red Shoe Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski. Little Frank's Pizzeria and Bar. Easy to reach, 6353 West 79th Street. On Thursdays, $1.50 Miller and Old Style. Trivia alternate Thursdays at 8 p.m. They have $15 large pizza and pitcher all day, every day. Little Frank's on 79th. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie does tune-ups, transmission, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes, and emission system repair. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and they've done a great job for me. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie.
We're going to have a good response off the bench to back up Bill. We're going to have a good punch from our bench scoring-wise, and that we still have to figure out. And other than that, our defense is going to have to stop penetration. I think that's the key that was tonight's real mystery that we couldn't answer.
What's in the big picture for the Bulls going into this final few weeks before the playoffs?
Well, the important thing for us is to be able to get out and guard people and take away what the other team wants to do. What happens with that allows us to be able to get out and run up and down the court and get easy baskets. So when we're guarding well, we're playing well, and we'll get there. We'll get there. We're not quite there. We're happy with the win. Of course, everybody's thrilled, but we'll get there.
Tonight everyone played in sync, but what's the overall big picture for the playoffs in the next week or two?
We're looking good. I think defense is what we really need and the key for the playoffs. And I think as long as we play good hard defense, it's going to ignite our offense. And I think as much as we can get collective production from everybody, then I think we're going to be okay.
The Bulls avenged their previous Phillies loss. Pat was there for the carnage.
As a matter of fact, the 15-point lead they held after the first quarter made me turn to the guy next to me, and I said, this thing is over. And it was. Michael Jordan could leave the game with 3 minutes left in the third quarter with a lead of about 37-38, never in doubt. Although Manute Bol entertained the crowd with a couple of baskets, including a three, this game was over very early. The Bulls won handily as expected, and if anything, got a little relaxation heading into the last couple that will decide the division. I guess it's pretty fun to have a laugher for a change, huh?
Well, we really need this game to clinch the Central Division and to get the starters some rest, and it's one of the biggest wins this year for us.
Can you elaborate on what you want to accomplish in the final week? Obviously, you want to win games, but what nuances do you guys want to fine-tune heading into the playoffs?
Defense. We want to fine-tune our defense and try to keep teams under 100 points going into the playoff. If we feel that we can do that, I think we have another championship on our hand.
What about Bill Cartwright, though? He and Michael Jordan both addressed the topic of the hated New York Knicks.
Hopefully it won't become a wrestling match out there where guys are beating the tar out of one another, and we're going to have some altercations with people. We just want to play basketball.
Well, you've never been shy about mixing it up when you have to. Who would you look to on your team that pull under your wing and say, I might need some help underneath?
Well, I'm sure, more than sure. We have enough guys here who've been in enough situations where, especially from playing the Pistons, where we know, hey, look, you can't allow guys to grab you and throw you down. We can't allow our guys to be thrown down without maybe having it happen to them on the other end. And that's just basketball. And like I said, hopefully it won't come to that. And we can just go out and play some basketball.
Can you anticipate a little bit about the way that game might be called?
Don't know. You don't know. It's going to be in New York. It's a televised game. I'm pretty sure they're going to try to keep control of the game and not let it get out of control. I think the league is certainly trying to eliminate fights and over physically playing teams such as the Knicks. So I think that's important. But it's still always hard to determine how the referee is going to let the game go. It depends on what referee. Every referee's got their certain personalities.
Salerno's Restaurant and Pizzeria at Grand and Racine is the place to go before United Center Pavilion, Bulls, Hawks, Cubs, and Sox too. Dine in or carry out with great family recipes, including homemade pastas, steaks, seafood, a great fun bar area. Meet people, have a tremendous time. At Salerno's Restaurant and Pizzeria, Grand and Racine, you'll find a great variety of foods for you to enjoy at Salerno's. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie is great. Tune-ups, transmissions, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. They do a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you. They're quick, and they don't charge an arm and a leg. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair, 108th and Kedzie. You've got to get to Shelton Fireworks, the world's largest warehouse, off Interstate 94, exit 22B in Porter, Indiana. Row after row of the best fireworks anywhere, from the little ones to the grand finales that'll end your show. Birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, in addition to the 4th of July. Just get over there to Shelton Fireworks now. Then you can reload by the time summer comes. Shelton Fireworks, I-94, exit 22B in Portage. Reggie's is a great place with tons of music, interesting people and staff, great food and drink at 21st and State. And amongst the cool things they have, Benkowski Trivia. All shows are now Monday at 6 p.m. Reggie's, 21st and State, a fun place. Come play in the area's classiest billiard center, Jukebox Billiards, 7910 Calumet Avenue in Munster, 2 blocks south of 8094. Selling the most famous names of pool tables and billiard equipment. Specializing in table recovery and moving of tables. A complete pro shop with the most brand names of cues and cases. Celebrating over 20 years, excellence, top billiard tables, the place where the action is, Jukebox Billiards, 7910 Calumet in Munster. We're back on the spotlight to 1989. Andre Dawson in the pennant race, the father of a new baby, and he describes the intricate details.
There was always a possibility of something going wrong, and add all that up together, and it's the first child that we've had, and it creates a lot of tense moments. But I was quite relieved. I tried not to focus too much upon that when I was here at the ballpark, but she was constantly on my mind when we were on the road, and I'd always call her to check to make sure things were going okay at home. But as I mentioned, because of the way she conceived, it was always a very touchy situation, and we were just very, very happy indeed to get it behind us.
To wrap things up, tell us your best moment with the little guy to date.
Well, when I first hold him, he urinated for the first time, and I thought it was kind of funny at the time, but I was just amazed. I think I was in a trance from the outcome, and it was a situation I'll never forget. It's something that'll probably be with me always. But just to hold him and to actually be there during the delivery was something that I'll always remember.
Well, you look different, and it's a new mellow, new plateau for you, Andre. I guess life will never be the same, will it?
Not really. It changed from that very moment, and I just look forward to the different lifestyle.
Well, congratulations, and welcome to fatherhood. Thanks a lot. Leon Durham was to be my first guest in May of '88. He was traded to Cincinnati, and a year and a half later, he resurfaces with me in a St. Louis uniform.
It was kind of frustrating to leave Chicago, but at the same time, I thought by going home, it would have been a great opportunity to put on the show in front of my homestand and my family and all. But at the same time, I felt like it was a lot of pressure, and every at bat was a big bat, and all I had to do was basically stay relaxed as if I was still playing here at Wrigley Field. And so beyond that, I went out this winter, and there was a few American League teams wanted me, but then St. Louis came across and they wanted to send me to AAA, which was outstanding, and I said, well, I just need a chance to get back in there, and I went through a few months as far as being in Louisville. So this is my 4th month in the big leagues this year. I'll be liking about a month of having 10 years in, so everything is flowing good for me now. It's a situation where I had to sacrifice a few things which were outstanding to get my life back on the right track, but at the same time, I'm healthy, I'm young.
The Lansing Floral Shop. Call for your flowers at 708-474-1212. Huck Finn, a great wide-ranging menu, along with donuts and ice cream. Open 24 hours at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Imprint Graphics, leaders in booklet, perfect bound, saddle stitch. Very competitive pricing. Call 708-396-1010.